The church was almost empty. Sunlight filtered through the stained glass windows, painting soft colors across the wooden pews. Daniel and I arrived 15 minutes early. Neither of us spoke. Every passing minute felt heavier than the last. At exactly 11 o'clock, the woman walked through the church doors. She wasn't carrying groceries this time, only a small brown envelope clutched tightly against her chest. She looked exhausted, as though she hadn't slept in years. She sat across from us. For several moments, she simply stared at the wooden cross above the altar. Then she whispered, "My name is Margaret Collins. I worked at St. Anne's Hospital for 28 years. My heartbeat quickened. You were there the day I gave birth." She nodded. "I was. Were you a nurse?" She shook her head. "No, I was the hospital's medical records supervisor." Daniel leaned forward. "Then you know what happened." Tears filled Margaret's eyes. "I know part of what happened." My heart sank. "Part?" She nodded slowly. "I wasn't in the delivery room. I never saw your baby. But 3 days after your daughter's birth, someone ordered me to replace part of your medical file." Daniel's face hardened. "Who?" Margaret lowered her eyes. "I refused." "What happened?" "My supervisor told me the order came from hospital administration. They said there had been an error." "What kind of error?" I asked. "They wouldn't tell me. They simply handed me a new file and instructed me to archive the original." My hands began to tremble. "You kept the original." She slowly lifted the brown envelope. "I couldn't destroy it. I've carried it home every single day for 12 years. She carefully opened the envelope. Inside were several age documents, a newborn identification record, a neonatal transfer form, and one page with a bright red stamp across the top. Patient transfer authorized. I stared at the page. "This says..." Margaret nodded. "Your daughter left St. Anne's Hospital alive." The world seemed to stop. I looked at Daniel. His eyes were overflowing with tears. For 12 years, we had mourned a child who, according to these records, had survived. My voice barely escaped. Where was she transferred?" Margaret closed her eyes. "I don't know. The destination page was missing before I ever saw the file." Silence filled the church. Hope, for the first time in 12 years, was no longer just a dream. It was written on paper, but our daughter was still missing, and someone had gone to extraordinary lengths to erase where she had gone. I couldn't stop staring at the documents. My hands trembled so badly that Daniel gently took the papers before they slipped from my fingers. He read every page twice, then a third time. Finally, he looked up at Margaret. "If our daughter left the hospital alive, why would anyone hide that?" Margaret shook her head. "I've asked myself that question for 12 years. I still don't know." She reached into the envelope again. "There's one more thing." She handed me a small photograph. It showed 3 people standing outside St. Anne's Hospital: a doctor, a nurse, and a young woman holding a newborn wrapped in a pink blanket. The photograph was slightly blurred. The baby's face couldn't be seen. "What is this?" I asked. Margaret sighed. "The hospital used to take photographs whenever babies were transferred to specialist hospitals. It's part of the old documentation process." I looked closely at the woman holding the baby. "I don't recognize her." "You wouldn't. She wasn't a nurse." Daniel frowned. "Then who was she?" Margaret hesitated. "We believed she was a social worker." "Believed?" "She never wore a hospital badge." My stomach tightened. "Do you know her name?" Margaret slowly nodded. "Grace Whitmore." Daniel immediately pulled out his phone. Within seconds, he found dozens of public records. Former director, charity founder, community volunteer. Nothing looked suspicious, until one article caught my eye. Grace Whitmore retires after founding Hope Haven Children's Home. Children's Home. Daniel and I looked at each other. Neither of us needed to speak. If our daughter had survived, and someone wanted to hide where she went, Hope Haven was the first place we needed to investigate. The next morning, We drove 3 hours to the small town where Hope Haven had once operated. The building still stood, but it was no longer an orphanage. It had been converted into a community learning center. An elderly caretaker welcomed us inside. "We're looking for information about Hope Haven," Daniel explained. The man smiled sadly. "That place closed years ago." "I know. I'm trying to find records from around 12 years ago." The caretaker's expression changed. "We don't keep those here." "Who does?" "The county archives." My heart sank. Another dead end. As we turned to leave, the caretaker called after us. "Wait." He disappeared into a back office. A minute later, he returned carrying an old guest register. "I shouldn't really have this. It's only a copy." He placed it gently on the table. Sometimes people came looking for children they had lost. We kept visitors' names. I quickly turned the fragile pages. Most entries meant nothing. Then, one name made my blood run cold. Daniel saw it too, written in neat blue ink. Just 6 weeks after our daughter's birth was a visitor's signature, Rebecca Carter, Daniel's younger sister. He stared at the page in disbelief. "My sister? She came here?" He slowly sat down. "I never knew." His voice cracked. "Rebecca never told me." A terrible realization settled over us. Rebecca, the woman who later raised Lily, had visited the children's home only weeks after our baby disappeared. Was it a coincidence? Or had she known something all along? For the first time, Daniel began to question not only the hospital, but his own family. And somewhere deep inside me, I feared the answer would change everything we thought we knew. Daniel refused to speak for almost the entire drive home. His hands gripped the steering wheel so tightly that his knuckles turned white. I had never seen him like this. His sister, Rebecca, the woman he had trusted more than anyone after our divorce, had somehow been connected to Hope Haven only weeks after our daughter disappeared. Neither of us wanted to believe it, but neither of us could ignore it anymore. That evening, Daniel unlocked a dusty storage room in his house. "I've kept everything Rebecca left behind." "What are you looking for?" "I don't know. But if she knew something, she wouldn't have carried that secret without leaving something behind." For nearly 2 hours, we searched through old boxes, birthday cards, family photo albums, university certificates. Nothing. Just as I was about to give up, Daniel pulled out a small wooden chest. I've never seen this before. The lock had already rusted away. He lifted the lid. Inside were dozens of letters, a silver bracelet, and an old diary. The first few pages were ordinary. Shopping lists, appointments, random thoughts. Then, one entry stopped us both. April 17th. Today I met the little girl again. Daniel looked at me. Our daughter had been born on April 12th. His hands began to shake as he continued reading. She smiled at me today. "I know I'm doing the right thing. One day my brother will understand." My heart raced. What does that mean? Daniel quickly turned the page. Several pages had been torn out. Only ragged edges remained. "No," he whispered. "No." The next complete entry was dated 3 years later. "Lily started preschool today. She asked why she doesn't have a mommy. I almost told her the truth." Daniel stopped reading. Neither of us could breathe. Rebecca hadn't written, "My daughter." She had written, "Lily." Slowly, Daniel closed the diary. "I've been asking the wrong question." I looked at him. "The question isn't whether Rebecca stole our daughter. It's why she believed she was protecting her." Before I could answer, a folded envelope slipped from between the diary pages. Across the front, written in Rebecca's handwriting, were 6 words. "For Daniel, when you're ready." His fingers trembled as he opened it. Inside was a single handwritten letter. "Dear Daniel, if you're reading this, then the truth has finally found you." Daniel looked at me. Neither of us was ready for what came next. He unfolded the final page, took a slow, trembling breath, and began to read. Daniel unfolded the letter with trembling hands. The paper had yellowed with age, The ink had faded slightly, but Rebecca's handwriting was unmistakable. He took a deep breath and began to read. "Dear Daniel, if you're reading this, it means I'm no longer here to explain myself. There isn't a single day that passed without me regretting the decision I made. You will probably hate me after this. Maybe you should. But before you judge me, please know that I never acted out of hatred. I acted out of fear. The day after Emma gave birth, I went to the hospital to see both of you. I never made it into her room. While waiting outside the neonatal intensive care unit, I overheard two doctors arguing. One of them kept saying, 'If this gets out, the hospital will be finished.' The other replied, 'Just transfer the baby immediately before the parents wake up.' I didn't understand what they meant. Later that afternoon, I saw a nurse carrying a newborn toward the ambulance bay. She was crying. I asked what had happened. She only whispered, 'Pray for this little girl.' That night, I followed the ambulance. It drove to Hope Haven Children's Home. I waited outside until morning. When I finally spoke to the director, she told me something I have never forgotten. The baby isn't an orphan. She's being hidden." Daniel stopped reading. He looked at me. Neither of us said a word. He continued, "I wanted to tell you everything. I truly did. But before I could, a lawyer came to see me. He warned me to stay away. He said powerful people were involved. He said if I talked, your family would be destroyed. I was terrified. Months later, I secretly returned to Hope Haven. The little girl was still there. She was healthy, beautiful. She smiled the moment she saw me. I couldn't leave her there. I began visiting every week. When the director became seriously ill, she confessed that someone had paid the home to keep the baby's identity secret until legal matters were resolved. But those legal matters never came. The people involved disappeared. The home was left raising a child whose parents believed she had died. When the director passed away, I was given a choice. Either Lily would enter the foster care system, or I could become her legal guardian. I chose her, not because I wanted to steal your daughter, but because I couldn't bear to lose her too. I believed, one day, I would find the courage to tell you everything. But every year that passed, it became harder, and then I became sick. I ran out of time. Daniel, I'm sorry. Emma, if you ever read this, please believe me. I loved Lily as though she were my own, but she was never mine. She was always yours." The letter slipped from Daniel's hands. Neither of us noticed. Tears streamed silently down my face. For 12 years, Rebecca hadn't been hiding our daughter out of cruelty. She had been protecting a little girl abandoned by the very system that was supposed to protect her. Daniel whispered, "My God, my sister spent 12 years carrying this alone." I nodded through tears. "But there's one question left." He looked at me. "If Lily is our daughter, does she know?" Silence answered us. Outside, the rain had begun to fall. Tomorrow, we would tell a 12-year-old girl that everything she believed about her life was about to change forever. Neither of us slept that night. Every answer we had searched for over the past 12 years had finally led us to one person, Lily. But how do you tell a 12-year-old girl that the life she had always known was built on a lie she never chose? The next afternoon, Daniel asked Lily if they could visit the park where she used to ride her bicycle. She smiled. "Can we get ice cream too?" He forced a smile. Of course. I followed in my own car. When I arrived, Lily was sitting on a wooden bench feeding pieces of bread to a family of ducks. She looked up and smiled when she saw me. "Hi." "Hi, Lily." She patted the empty space beside her. "You can sit here." I did. For a few minutes, none of us spoke. Finally, Daniel took a deep breath. "Lily, I need to tell you something." She looked at him. "Am I in trouble?" "No, not at all." His voice trembled. "This is about your mom." Lily smiled softly. "I miss Aunt Rebecca every day." "So do I." He reached into his pocket and carefully unfolded Rebecca's letter. Before she passed away, she left this for me. Lily listened quietly. Then Daniel looked at me. He nodded gently. It was time. I slowly reached for Lily's hand. "There is something you deserve to know." She looked at me curiously. "The woman who raised you, she loved you very much." Lily smiled. "I know." I nodded. "She protected you. She sacrificed everything for you." "I know that too." My eyes filled with tears. "But she wasn't the woman who gave birth to you." The smile slowly disappeared from Lily's face. She looked at Daniel, then back at me. "I don't understand." Daniel could barely speak. "You were born 12 years ago at St. Anne's Hospital. There was a terrible mistake. For many years, we believed you had died." Lily stared at us. "No," she whispered. "No." Her breathing became uneven. So who am I?" I gently squeezed her hand. "You are Lily. You will always be Lily, and nothing will ever change how much Rebecca loved you." Tears rolled down Lily's cheeks. "But who are you?" I felt my own tears fall. "My name is Emma." I struggled to finish the sentence. "And I'm your mother." Silence. The world seemed to stop. For several long seconds, Lily simply stared at me. Then, very quietly, she asked, "Did you really spend all those years looking for me?" I nodded. "Every birthday, every Mother's Day, every Christmas, I talked to you. Even when I thought you were gone." Lily burst into tears. Without saying another word, she threw her arms around me. I held her tightly. The little girl I had mourned for 12 years was finally in my arms. Daniel wrapped his arms around both of us. For the first time in over a decade, we cried together, not because we had lost our daughter, but because, against every impossible odd, we had found her. Months later, an independent investigation reopened the hospital case. Several former administrators were found to have hidden medical records during a period of serious negligence. The hospital publicly apologized to every family affected. No apology could ever return the 12 years we had lost, but it finally gave us the truth. Lily continued to honor Rebecca every year. She placed fresh flowers on her grave every birthday. "She gave me life twice," Lily would often say. "The first time, by protecting me. The second time, by making sure I could find my real family." Rebecca had made terrible mistakes, but in the end, she had also left behind the courage that reunited us. Sometimes, the people who hurt us are also carrying wounds we cannot see. Forgiveness does not erase the pain, but it allows love to begin again. As I watched Lily laugh in our backyard one warm summer evening, I realized something. For 12 years, I thought I had lost my daughter forever. The truth was, hope had simply taken the longest road home. If this story touched your heart, leave a heart in the comments and tell us which country you're watching from. I love reading your comments and seeing where our Heartverse family is watching from. Some stories entertain, others stay with you forever. If this story moved you, subscribe to Heartverse TV for more unforgettable emotional dramas every week. Until next time, thank you for watching Heartverse TV.